Welcome to Obi-Wan Studios, and for today's LEGO Star Wars minifigure comparison, I'm going to be comparing every single Young Boba Fett or Episode 2 version of Boba Fett that LEGO has ever made. Before we get into the comparison, let's take a quick look at the lineup of minifigs that I have in front of me. Starting off with the original Young Boba Fett from the 7153 Jango Fett Slave 1, which released in 2002 along with Attack of the Clones. Then we move along to the first modern version from the 75023 2013 Advent Calendar. Next up is the version from the 75191 Jedi Starfighter with Hyperdrive from 2017. And then lastly, the most recent version from the 75409 Ultimate Collector Series Jango Fett Starship for 4 Young Boba Fett minifigs that we're going to compare today. And of course, the very last one has been quite the controversial minifig in the LEGO Star Wars community, so I'm looking forward to discussing it all in this comparison today. Now, when it comes to Boba Fett's appearance in Attack of the Clones, if we're being honest, it's not that complicated, it's rather simple, yet LEGO has seemed to really struggle in making a great and accurate looking version of his character in minifig form, because I don't think any of these are that great, and I'm going to tackle this comparison a little bit differently compared to the other minifig comparisons I've done on the channel because of just the whole issue of getting it right in terms of that accuracy to the source material for these Young Boba Fett minifigs. So with that said, we are going to start off literally at the very top of the character with Boba Fett's hair. Now, in Attack of the Clones and in the source material from Lucasfilm, Boba Fett's hair is clearly brown. It doesn't actually match Jango Fett's, which is a whole nother issue in terms of him being a clone of Jango Fett, but for accuracy to the source material's sake, Boba Fett's hair is brown, and LEGO has utilized black for every single hairpiece they have ever given Boba, so that is an inaccuracy across the board for all 4 of these minifigs. When it comes to the actual hairpiece, the original's hairpiece certainly looks dated now, but for the time was a really great hairpiece to use, and then the 2013 and 2017 hairpieces just looked fantastic to actually at least represent what the hair looks like in terms of the style. But then when we move on to the new Ultimate Collector Series version, this new hairpiece just looks absolutely terrible. It looks nothing like Boba Fett. I honestly have no idea what the designers were thinking, and again, getting the hair color wrong, but then just making that hairpiece look so much worse than the previous version. And while the 2025 version really let us down with the hairpiece, it does at least fix one issue when it comes to Boba Fett's skin tone. Now, the original minifig features the classic LEGO yellow for the skin tone, which is totally fine and has that nostalgic charm to it. But the 2013 and 2017 versions use light nougat, which just does not represent what Boba Fett actually looks like. So when they made the update in 2025 to regular nougat, I just think that looks so much better. It makes the minifig look a lot more like Boba Fett, and it's a pretty major difference in my opinion that I'm surprised LEGO never really got right from 2013 forward. When it comes to the faceprint design, on the original we have a rather plain looking faceprint, but it's definitely passable for 2002. Moving on to 2013 and the rest of the modern versions, I think they all look fine. I'm rather indifferent about all of them, to be honest, but I think I prefer the UCS version slightly more because that second faceprint especially is a little less cartoony looking, to me at least. Alright, and now we can move on to Boba's outfit, but here's where things become just a little bit more complicated. Now, the original minifig had a pretty great concept for Boba's outfit in medium blue for the torso and legs, and then dark blue for the arms. It's a pretty nice contrast you get for his outfit in terms of the color scheme. However, it's not as accurate as it could have been because LEGO was making light bluish violet, which we saw being used on the Jango Fett from the same set for his arms and legs, and that is by far the more accurate color for what we see Jango and Boba Fett both wearing, because Boba's sleeves are the exact same color as Jango Fett's shirt and pants that he wears underneath his armor, so I just don't totally get why LEGO would have the best color on Jango Fett, but then not utilize the exact same color on the Boba Fett from the same set. For the 2013 version, we would see a change up to dark azure for the torso and legs, sticking with dark blue for the arms, and then in 2017, back to that medium blue for the torso and legs and dark blue for the arms. And between these three versions, there is that consistency in the rather large contrast between the color of Boba's arms and his torso and legs, those different colors of blue. And that's, at least up until this point, what we had expected from LEGO for the character's design. However, for the 2025 version, we had a pretty big departure from that look in terms of going now with sand blue for the arms and then bright light blue for the torso and leg color. And here's where a lot of people had issue with this version of Boba Fett. But here's the thing, and I've mentioned it a couple of times on the channel. This is the first time Boba Fett has actually matched Jango Fett's color scheme with the use of sand blue. And when we place the 2017 and 2025 versions of Boba Fett on either side of the Ultimate Collector Series version of Jango Fett, I think the sand blue is the least worse option overall. Because LEGO doesn't make that light bluish violet anymore, it's kind of the only color that works close-ish to what Boba and Jango Fett both look like. I'm not saying sand blue is accurate, but like I've said, it's the least worse. So in my mind, seeing these minifigs against Jango Fett and how Jango Fett looks, I do actually think at least having that consistency between the two characters looks better than not having it. When it comes to the printing for Boba's outfit, we see the same basic concept across all four minifigs. The original version does not feature a back print, but the three modern versions do, so it's just nice to see that upgrade in terms of additional detailing that the character has. However, there is just one really weird thing when it comes to the printing for Boba's outfit. The original version's belt is black. In 2013, it changed to brown. In 2017, it then changed back to black. And then in 2025, it then changed back again to brown, which is just so weird, this odd alternating consistency that these minifigs have. And it is the topic of Boba's belt that has been the topic of more controversy with the minifigs design for 2025. However, when you watch Attack of the Clones, specifically when he's turned to face Obi-Wan away from the camera, the belt color on his back, at least at that angle, you clearly see some brown in it during the movie. And then looking at the official images from Lucasfilm, across all of them, the majority look like the base color is like leather, brown. So brown to me is clearly the more accurate color for Boba's belt. Black, in some instances, I could see a little bit of an argument for. I know blue even for the belt has been thrown out a little bit to match these sleeves, but brown, based on all of these shots, is what I think is clearly the most accurate version, but just really odd that it's been alternating every year between black and brown. It's just weird. I don't get it. Now, with all of that said, what I just personally think looks the best is the 2017's hairpiece on the UCS version of Boba Fett, because the UCS hairpiece, it's so bad. It looks so awful. And at least if the hairpiece had stayed consistent and accurate, I feel like it wouldn't have been as jarring, the other changes that were made to Boba Fett with the UCS version. And then maybe it would have been more universally accepted by the community. But because you just look at the minifig and instantly see how bad that hairpiece looks, it makes all of the other changes just that much worse. Almost. So to me, the UCS version with this different hairpiece looks a lot better, at least in my opinion, but let me know which version you guys prefer in the comments down below. For me, just taking them as is, designed from LEGO, I don't think any of them are that great. Like the UCS version does, I think in my opinion, look a bit better than the other ones, but I totally see the argument and the debate and points for the 2017 version being the best one. I don't know totally where I land when it's all said and done, but let me know where you guys do in the comments down below. And if you did enjoy this comparison, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps my videos grow and the channel grow a lot more than you might think. So please, if you made it all the way to the end of this comparison and you really enjoyed the depth that I went to in it, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks again so much for watching. My name is Justin, and I'll see you on the next LEGO Star Wars video on Obi-Wan Studios.